Most stupid people on road. Every day on the road, we encounter drivers who make us question their intelligence. From the one who doesn't know how to use their turn signal to the one who thinks red lights are optional, these individuals seem to have missed out on some basic driving lessons. Let's jump into today's video to witness the most stupid people on the road. Stupid decisions on the road by people can have serious and sometimes tragic consequences. From driving under the influence of drugs or alcohol to disregarding traffic signals, these poor choices can result in accidents that cause injury or even death. People in their stunts on the road can be dangerous and irresponsible. Picture this, a car cruising down the road, all seems normal. But then, out of nowhere, disaster strikes. The driver loses control and veers off the road, narrowly avoiding a collision with a wall. It's a heart-stopping moment that could have ended in catastrophe. Some drivers really shouldn't be behind the wheel, and this guy is a prime example. These hoodlums were clearly up to no good, waiting on their motorcycle, likely planning a quick getaway. But as the light turned green, a police car appeared out of nowhere, blocking their escape route. The suspects revved their engine and made a break for it, but the cops were hot on their heels. One of them was apprehended, but his partner managed to slip away. In a winter wonderland, this driver thought they could conquer the frozen terrain, but their car had other plans. As they tried to drive across the icy ground, the car skidded out of control, slipping sideways, and before they knew it, it slammed straight into a pole. This guy on a quad bike woke up and chose violence. First, he brazenly crossed in front of the person recording the whole thing, and when a cop tried to apprehend him for overspeeding and dangerous overtaking, this daredevil took off like a bat out of hell. When the cop's car blocked his path, he simply turned around and fled, evading capture with nerve-wracking maneuvers. This driver was all smiles as he got out of his car, but little did he know he was about to make a rookie mistake. He forgot to apply the handbrake, and the consequences were swift and alarming. His car started to slide backwards, heading straight for the car behind, but just in the nick of time, the driver rushed back to stop it. In a rush, or simply forgetful, this woman neglected to turn off the engine or apply the handbrake. Her car started to move forward all on its own, gaining momentum with each passing moment. But fortunately, quick thinking and reflexes kicked in just in the nick of time. She managed to stop the car before it caused any damage. As he's gearing up for a turn, this truck driver gets a little too enthusiastic and makes a disastrous mistake. Instead of waiting for the right moment, he turns too early and runs right over the traffic light, flattening the pole in the process. It's a jaw-dropping display of miscalculation that leaves a trail of destruction in its wake. It appears that this driver may have had one too many drinks. Ignoring the red light, he plowed through and nearly crossed halfway before realizing his mistake. In a panic, he hurriedly attempted to turn around and go back the way he came from. But little did he know, a sharp-eyed cop had spotted him and was hot on his tail. This driver found themselves in a tight spot, quite literally in a parking area. As they attempted to maneuver their way out of the spot, they slammed straight into the side of another car. But instead of owning up to their mistake, this driver chose to flee from the scene, leaving the car's owner to deal with the aftermath. Everything seemed to be going smoothly until this driver's perception went haywire. They lost sight of the road and ended up driving straight into the guardrail and a signpost. It was a jaw-dropping moment of sheer incompetence, leaving everyone scratching their heads in disbelief. It's a clear example of how quickly things can go awry when drivers are absent-minded. Just when his car was cruising along peacefully, out of nowhere, a taxi appeared like a bull in a china shop, slamming into it with a jarring force. The collision was intense, leaving both vehicles with visible damage and coming to a screeching halt. It was a heart-stopping moment, with the sheer impact of the crash leaving everyone in shock. This driver took things to a whole new level of absurdity. It all started with a sudden swerve onto the pavement, posing a serious threat to pedestrians. But that was just the beginning. Without skipping a beat, the driver then reversed and plowed straight into parked cars. When confronted, they callously fled the scene. Talk about dangerous and irresponsible. This is definitely a classic case of running from the law gone wrong. When the police pulled over this hulking red truck, the driver had other plans in mind. With adrenaline pumping, they made a daring attempt to evade capture by sneaking around the cop car and making a break for it. but there's simply no escaping the long arm of the law. Little mishaps on the road can be frustrating and time-consuming, but they're a common part of everyday driving. From getting a flat tire to running out of gas, these minor incidents can disrupt our plans and cause inconvenience. Carelessness on the road can have serious consequences for everyone involved. Even seemingly minor actions like not using a turn signal or failing to yield to pedestrians can lead to dangerous situations on the road. Accidents on the road can happen in an instant, and the consequences can be devastating. Whether it's due to driver error, poor road conditions, or unexpected obstacles, a split-second mistake can lead to a collision that affects everyone involved. People who are naturally hilarious have a gift for making even the most mundane situations into something funny and entertaining. They have a knack for finding the humor in everyday life, which can make even the most challenging situations more bearable. The phrase idiots on the loose typically refers to individuals engaging in reckless or dangerous behavior that puts themselves and others at risk. This could include reckless driving, dangerous stunts, or engaging in criminal activity. Unfortunately, there will always be individuals who lack common sense or disregard the safety of others. Stupidity by choice on the road is a major problem that can have serious consequences. Drivers who engage in reckless behavior, such as texting while driving, driving under the influence, or excessive speeding, are putting themselves and others in danger. These actions not only increase the risk of accidents, but they can also lead to fatalities. Helping others is a noble act, but sometimes things can go awry and turn into unintentional humor. For instance, offering assistance to someone in need only to realize they were actually engaged in a perfectly normal activity can be embarrassing. Ultimately, laughter can be a way to break down barriers and make connections with others, even if it's at our own expense. Funny fails by people are a staple of the internet and social media. Airplane issues by people can be a source of frustration and inconvenience for both travelers and airline staff. These issues can range from minor nuisances, such as a passenger taking too long to stow their luggage, to more serious incidents like unruly behavior or medical emergencies. Remember to subscribe to the channel to see more entertaining videos in the future. We'll catch up to you in the following video. Until then, take care.